I'm Louise and I'm here at the Carnaross Market today in County Meath for today's bullock and calf sale. Livestock farmers have had a challenging year so far in 2023 and we're going to be talking to them just hours before the 2024 budget is due to be announced. I'll be asking farmers what they want to see delivered this time tomorrow.
Because of the high inflation rates in the past, we're finding that people of our age living on a pension are finding it very, very difficult to survive. For me, and I mean this is only a personal thing, I'd like to see a little more of an increase in our pension for a start, you know, and definitely the help that we got last year with the electricity bills and so on and so forth, that was a huge help, but we're going to need exactly the same, if not more, this year. As, you know, people don't realise how difficult it has gotten to survive with the cost of fuel and everything else, you know, and also, you know, retrofitting homes and stuff like that for the elderly, for people like myself. I think that's going to be very necessary in the future.
And is there anything in particular that you're going to be looking out for farmers? Actually,
much the same. I mean, look at the cost of fuel. I mean, this is driving the price of everything through the roof. Like, it's determining the price of our livestock, everything, because meal is going up, fertilizer is going up, and these are all necessary. And it's just, as far as I'm concerned, it's another area where farmers are going to have to get some help. And that's in fuel prices, costs and stuff like that, you know. Because the farming sector, you know, whether we like it or not, it's the backbone of our society. And if we don't look after the farming society in this country, we're bunched, basically.
So Chris, what would you like to see in the budget tomorrow afternoon?
I suppose, number one, I'd like to see something different. I'd like to see new opportunities for young farmers and for old farmers alike. The biggest fear you have is dairying, and if it goes wrong, there's really nothing else there at the moment that's making the money that dairying can make. So I'd love to see opportunities like something like anaerobic digestion, where farmers could put their stock in, their grasses or their slurries into it. Brilliant for the nitrates. The water that comes out of it is clean. You have a digestate left over that can be put back on the land to fertilise it again, and you start all the cycle all over again. So I'd love to see, you know, really go for it this time, and the capital grants have good capital grants, and so much per acre the farmers are paid to produce this silage. Like they're talking about red clover, you know, there's different varieties of grasses we can grow, and we can still farm livestock if we want, you know. No, you don't have to put your whole farm into it, you can put a small part of your farm into it. That's what I'd really like to see, you know, changes. Like there's young people out there and they're disillusioned. We're not being given choices, you know, being told do this, do that, the other. You know, they're bringing new rules, new regulations in the whole time. You have to have incentives.
What would you like to see for these young farmers?
Choices. I'd like to see that they know what what money they can make. Like everybody else, you know, everybody has a fair idea of what wage they're making every week. Farming's about the only enterprise that you don't know. So if you go into something like anaerobic digestion or something, at least you know by the amount of crop you produce how much you're going to be making in the end of the year. And accordingly you can, you know, work on it, you know. That's what I'd like, something I'd like to see.
As an old age pensioner, I feel very strongly about the old people are not being looked after. With all the money that's in the country, they're talking about increasing the minimum wage by £1.60 an hour, and that equates to €56 a week. And then they're making a big ha-ha about giving €10 or €15 a week to old age pensioners. The old age pensioners are the only people that are completely at the mercy of the government. And we are not being looked after. We are falling behind big time. As a farmer, the subsidies are fairly good, but still, they're not keeping up with inflation. Mm-hmm. There needs to be an improvement in the subsidies and help for smaller farmers. As what's happening now in the country, it's happening in front of our eyes. The dairy farms are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The beef is all feedlots. There will be very few farmers left in Ireland in 20 years. There's nobody making a living at beef at the minute. Or the sheep is very bad. The sheep are very bad also. But beef is a complete waste of time. You go in and look around the ring there, and it's something that makes me even feel young. They're all old people that are on. There's very few young people now getting into beef. And the future of farming is the young people. And there's nothing to encourage young people into farming.
So what areas would you say are struggling this year?
The areas are the dairy, the beef and the tillage-men.
And what government supports would you like to see from the budget to help these sectors?
Well, they should give a bit of a grant or a subsidy for the farmers to help them out.
Yeah.
So they should, in the three sectors, fuel and fertiliser is far too dear at the moment. Far too dear. Every sector should be helped, young and old. I'd like to see giving the younger farmers grants on to buy machinery and stuff like that there. The older farmers are getting on in age, they should get a decent pension out of it. Farmers is on his knees for old people and young people.